What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be creating a Google Display Ads remarketing campaign, and I'm going to show you how to do it from start to finish. So you're here in your Google Ads account, and what you need to do first is you need to make sure that you have an active Google Ads account, and you also need a Google Analytics 4 account for your website. So this is where you need to start in order to have the ability to even create remarketing audiences so that you can target them in your Google Ads campaign. So if we come over here, here's the step-by-step process that we're going to go through today. So first, you need a Google Ads, Google Analytics 4 account. You need to enable Google Signals data collection in Google Analytics 4. So that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to come back over here to our Google Analytics 4 account. So I'm in here for Beachfront Decor. And what you want to do is come to the admin screen for your Google Analytics 4 account. You want to go to Data Settings, and you want to go to Data Collection. So under data collection, you're going to see Google Signals data collection, and you need to make sure you have this checked on. So you may need to click this here if you haven't already. It will come over here, show the check mark. Then the other thing you need to do is come to the bottom and make sure you acknowledge the user data collection acknowledgement down here at the bottom. I acknowledge that I have the necessary privacy disclosures and rights for my end users for the collection and processing of their data, including the association of such data with visitation information Google Analytics collects from my site and/or app property. So that's where you need to start. That's going to be the first two things. Create your Google Ads account, create your Google Analytics 4 account, make sure you enable Google Signals data collection in your Google Analytics 4 account, and then what you want to do is link your two accounts together. So my accounts are already linked. It's very easy to do, especially if you're using the same exact Google account for both. So if we come over here to Google Ads, we go to Tools and Settings. Under Setup, you're going to see Linked Accounts. So you can see my linked accounts here. You can see Google Analytics, GA4, and Firebase, and I also have my YouTube channel linked as well. So I'm really going to focus this Google Display Ads remarketing on more website remarketing, but I'll show you the different options you have as far as YouTube and other things you can actually upload a customer match list. So you could also incorporate an app if you want to. So there's different ways to actually remarket to anybody who's interacted with your business in really any way, shape, or form. So with YouTube here, I have that linked. With Google Analytics 4, I have that linked. If we come over here to Manage and Link, if you haven't linked already, you're going to see a Details link. So you want to click on Details, and when you go into Details, it will automatically usually pull up whatever Google Analytics account that you have. So I have Google Analytics, the old version, the Universal Analytics here, and because I have different Universal Analytics accounts for Beachfront Decor, you could see these are not linked. So all I really need to do to link my account is click on the link button over here. So it's really that simple to link an account. So if we come back over to linked accounts for GA4, we have our linked account here. We come to Manage and Link, and you're going to see these both are linked together. So that's all you need to do next. So if we come back over here to number 3, link your Google Ads and Google Analytics 4 account. This is important because we enabled Google Signals data collection in Google Analytics 4. So now we can actually create audiences in Google Analytics 4. But if we don't have our GA4 account linked to our Google Ads account, then they really can't communicate. They don't know what audiences we've created. So once you link them, you're able to import those audiences directly into your Google Ads account automatically every time you create one. So what we can do is next create Your Data, which remarketing has also been rebranded to Your Data segments. So if you see Your Data, that just means you're interacting with people who have already interacted with your business. So we're going to create Your Data segments or audiences in Google Ads, or you can do it in Google Analytics 4. So let's come back over here. We're in Google Ads already. So let's come over to Tools and Settings. Under Shared Library, you're going to see Audience Manager. So you can see some of my different segment names here. So all users of Beachfront Decor, all visitors over the last 30 days. So the all users of Beachfront Decor is automatically created when we link our Google Analytics 4 and Google Ads account, and we set up Google Signals data collection. So I'll show you that in a minute, but what we can do when we're in our Audience Manager, you're going to see segments here. And what you're going to see is Your Data segments, which essentially is just another way of saying remarketing audiences. So where you see Your Data segments, that means people who have either interacted with your YouTube channel, your website. If we click on the plus sign here, we can upload a customer list. So that's another option that you have. Now keep in mind, there are certain thresholds that you need to meet in your account in order to target a customer list. The main one being you need at least $50,000 in spend. So If you don't have that, then you may not even want to bother uploading a customer list. But if you do have a customer list, an email list, or anything like that, you might as well upload it here. YouTube users, so if you have an active YouTube channel, you can target people who have interacted with your YouTube channel or videos. So for example, for Surfside PPC, I could target anybody who watches this video with advertisements. I can target anybody who subscribes to my channel. I can target anybody who views any video. So you can target all of these different visitors and viewers as they are either going to your website, as they are giving you some of their information, or as they're watching your videos on YouTube. So the other thing is app users. So people who have downloaded your mobile app, you can target them with your advertisements. But what I'm really going to focus on today are website visitors, people who visited your website or landing pages. So if we click on the plus sign here, what we could do is create a new audience segment, website visitors. You can name your segment here, and segment members will be visitors of a page, or you could do visitors of a page who've also visited another page, visitors of a page who did not visit another page, and visitors of a page with specific tags. So you have different options here as far as your segment. So what we could do is say visitors of a page that where the page URL contains, and enter any word here that would be useful for your business. So I'm starting to get more towards Christmas with beachfront decor. So people who are actively looking up beach Christmas decorations. So what I can say is if my page URL contains Christmas, or I could say page URL contains ornaments, or page URL contains, and come up with every single Christmas word I can possibly think of related to the different types of products that I'm selling. So it may be Christmas trees. So since I already have Christmas here, that would account for that. We have ornaments here. I could do something like garlands. I can do and we could do something like wreaths. Could also just keep it as wreath and garland and ornament, and we could do we could do holiday. So we can create this audience, and what it's going to allow me to do is actually target people who visit my Christmas pages with a specific Christmas message. So I can take the page URL contains and use all these different words here, try to find more and more words as well. I know I could do stockings and tree topper and all sorts of different things, but for right now, we'll just keep these different page URL contains and a word. Now, if we click here, you could also see refer URL. We could do page URL equals, starts with, ends with, does not contain, does not equal, does not start with. So you have a ton of different options. Now, the more traffic you drive to your website, honestly, the better your audiences are going to be. I worked with a client that got millions and millions of visitors a month, and we were able to create all sorts of different data segments based on the website visitors because they're visiting so many different pages and categories of pages. You're able to put people in all these different buckets, and that's ultimately what you want to do to understand what people are looking at on your website. So we have these different page URL contains different holiday words. Let's just add stockings. Why not? We'll just do stocking because it'll match both of them. We'll do garland because it'll match both. We'll do ornament. Okay, with Christmas, ornament, garland, wreath, holiday, stocking. Okay. Pre-fill options, we can pre-fill the segment with people who match rules within the past 30 days. I generally keep them pre-filled because we might as well start getting people in our audience immediately. People stay in this segment, and let's just say for 90 days. So anybody who's looking up beach Christmas decorations over, in the past 30 days, over the next 30 days, over the next 60 days, the next 90 days, I want to target them with my ads. So we're going to give it a longer membership duration of 90 days. And then we can enter a description here if we want to. Let's make sure I name my segment. Okay, so Christmas pages, and we could do page URL. Okay, so we'll scroll down here and we will click on create segment. So that's one option as far as creating an audience. And now you can see Christmas pages, page URL. This is populating now. It's a website visitors rule-based audience. So they're able to use the data that I've given them from my Google Analytics 4 account to create this audience. Now let's come back over here to Google Analytics 4. And the one thing I want to go over now, and if you come to configure and you go to audiences, this is where you can create your audiences, and these audiences will automatically go into your Google Ads account. So you can see here, I have all users and I have purchasers. So two different audiences here. They were both created on October 28th, 2020. So as soon as I enabled Google Signals data collection, those audiences were created. Now, if we come over here to my audience manager, you're going to see all visitors, Google Ads, purchasers of beachfront decor, but the other one is actually all users of beachfront decor. So this is my Google Analytics for property users. Right now on search display, I have 9,000 people, or search and YouTube, I have 9,000, display, I have 5,900. So it's a large enough audience that I can start targeting them with my ads. And the other thing that's going to happen once you have eligible audiences, so right here, my YouTube viewers, too small to serve because I don't really get a lot of YouTube views on my beachfront decor channel. So my website visitors audience, once you have an eligible audience here, we scroll down, you're going to see similar to all users of beachfront decor, on display 1 million to 2 million people that are similar to the people in my audience. And this is going to automatically update over time. So it's your similar segments are automatically created based on your data segments. So this website visitors segment that we have right here, the similar audiences or similar segments are automatically going to be created once those are eligible. And then you can start targeting them across search, YouTube, display, and discover campaigns. So if we come back over here, let's come back over to Google Analytics 4. What you can do here is you can create audiences directly in Google Analytics 4. And what they're going to do is they're automatically going to go into your Google Ads account. But let's just come back over to Google Analytics. They have some suggested audiences, so purchasers, 7-day lapsed purchasers. They have little descriptions here for each of them. Non-purchasers, recently active, 7-day lapsed users. We come over here to templates. They have demographics, technology, acquisition. So if we click on demographics, I can say include users where and just say age is one of, and let's just say we do 35 plus audience. So I can say, okay, I want to make sure I'm targeting, I didn't include it, but we'll make sure we include it. Age is 35 plus. Let's say membership duration, we'll just set to maximum limit. So is one of, and we'll click on apply. Okay, so now age, they need to be 35 and up. So what we're doing is we're saying anybody who is 35 and up, we want them to add them to this audience. We click on save. And now this audience will automatically go into our Google Ads account. Again, not immediately, so it's going to take a little bit. So we're not going to target this one right away, but let's click on new audience and show some different ideas as well. So if we click on create a custom audience, it's going to say include users when. You can name your audience up here. You can add a description, you can add conditions, and you can add sequences. So again, this does work the best for websites that get a ton of traffic because you can really add a bunch of different conditions to create the perfect audience depending on who you want to target. So if we do include users when, and we can do events. So anytime a user completes a specific event, maybe they watch a video on our website, you can set that as an event and you can target people who have watched a video on your website. We can come over here to custom. They have link URL, outbound clicks, demographics. So you can pick by several different demographics here. E-commerce, category, product ID, order coupon, transaction ID. So I'm not going to go through each of these, but you can see there's a ton of different options that you have as far as who the user is, whether they watched a video, what type of device that they're using, what pages they visited. So if we do page and screen, and we already did, what we could do is page title here and say page title contains, and we could do the same thing that we did before. You're going to see it's going to pull up some of our different pages here, but we could do the same thing we did before where you see 25 plus beach Christmas tree ideas. So if we do page title contains, and let's just say we do Christmas. Okay, so we have 1.2 thousand users in this audience, a page title that contains Christmas. Now what we can do is create two different audiences. So we have our one over here where the page URL contains all those different words. In Google Analytics 4, we could say page title contains Christmas, or let's say, again, we'll go to page screen, page title, and we'll do the same thing, contains, and we'll just do ornament. And it's going to pull up some different pages here that do contain that word. So if we do ornament, we can click on apply. So we can keep doing this over and over again. So let's create the same basic audience. Okay, so if the page title contains Christmas or ornament or tree or wreath or garland or stocking. Now you can also do end here. So I could do page title contains Christmas and something else. So I could also add holiday. I could add a bunch of different titles here, but we have 2K users in this audience. Let's just set our membership duration to the maximum limit. We could target this audience every single Christmas. So we're just going to say Christmas page titles. Okay, and one thing you can do when you're making Google Analytics 4 audiences, just so you know the source of your audience, is you could always do GA4. And then when it's imported here into Google Ads, you're going to have a little GA4 at the end of it. So just one option to kind of keep things a little bit organized. We can add a description here. We can add exclusions. So there's a lot that you can do with all of these different audiences. So going through them, I mean, I can go through this for hours and hours, but hopefully this makes sense. Some different audiences that you can create. Basically, any action anyone takes on your website, you can target them with ads. So right now we have ages 35 plus, all users, purchasers. So I don't actually have a purchase on my website, so I don't have any users in this audience. And then I have Christmas page titles. So once this populates, it's going to go into our Google Ads account and we can start targeting it. But for now, let's come back over to Google Ads. And what we can do is come here to our campaigns and we can create a new campaign. Okay, let's make sure we're in our beachfront decor account. I'm in a manager account that has 2 different accounts in it. So we're in beachfront decor. We're going to create a new campaign. Now, what you want to do is first choose your campaign objective. Now, if you're running remarketing campaigns, you really want to be doing sales or leads depending on what goal category you have. So I have purchases here. So we're going to remove our book appointments goal. I just have purchases as my conversion, but it's basically an affiliate click every time someone clicks out to an affiliate link. So we have purchases. We're going to run a display campaign. We can enter our website here, beachfrontdecor.com, and we can also enter our Christmas landing page. So if you want to enter your landing page here, you can. I'm just going to enter my home page for right now. Then you want to name your campaign. So let's just say Beachfront Decor Christmas Sale. Okay, so campaign settings, you want to choose your location targeting. So I'll just set mine to United States and Canada. Set your language targeting. You can go into more settings if you want. I'm not going to change any of the more settings. So we have our location and language targeting. We'll click on next. Next is going to be your budget and your bidding strategy. So since we're using the sales objective, then what we want to do is we want to set our daily budget. Let's just say I want to spend $25 a day on this campaign. We want to focus on conversions. We want to automatically maximize conversions. You can set a target cost per action. So obviously if every conversion is worth $10 for you, then you want your target cost per action to be less than $10. So this here says $3.60, a typical target CPA for a display campaign. Let's just set ours at $3. So we want to drive conversions at $3 per conversion. We'll click on next. Okay, so first things first, optimized targeting is set up for you. So that's automatically set up. It's going to use information like our landing page and all of our assets. And it's also going to incorporate our targeting as well. So when we come in here to add targeting, what you want to do is go into audience segments. This is where your remarketing audiences or your data segments will appear. So if we come over here to browse, we scroll down and we come to how they have interacted with your business, your data, and similar segments. So we click, you can see website visitors, there's custom combination segments, so you can combine people who have watched YouTube videos, you can combine people who have visited your website. I can say anybody who's watched my beach Christmas videos and who's also been to my beach Christmas pages, and just create this massive Christmas audience of anybody who's interested in Christmas at the beach whatsoever, and I can target them with my ads. So if we come here to website visitors, so you could see ages 35 plus. So they actually have these already created and imported. So that's much quicker than it's happened for me in the past. But what we can do here, so we have 2 different options. I can say Christmas page titles and I can say Christmas pages. So this was the page titles we just created in Google Analytics 4. So the size is still 0. So may take a few days to actually show up in our audience manager. Let's see if it's in there already. Usually when I create an audience in Google Analytics 4, it's not there instantly, but maybe they changed that. And then we have the one we just created. So our Christmas pages page URL. Let's come over here to our audience manager real quick. And okay, so we have these here instantly actually. So ages 35 plus, and we have our Christmas page titles GA4. So these were the 2 audiences that we just created in Google Analytics 4. So generally in the past when I've done this, these don't appear here immediately. So they must have these come in quicker, but they aren't populated yet. If you look, they're both size 0. So it will take a little bit of time to start getting people in these audiences. But if we're targeting both of these, then once these audiences start to populate and they become eligible, then we can actually start serving them our advertisements. So we can select these 2 website visitor audiences. Those are our 2 targeted segments. And we have optimized targeting set to on. Now you can turn optimized targeting off. It's going to target people who are not actually part of your data segments. If you're using optimized targeting, it's going to go out and find other people based on all the information that Google has about your campaign to try to target other people who they believe are going to be as likely to convert as people in your data segments. So it's up to you if you want to use optimized targeting. I generally use it. It's going to expand your audience, who you're targeting, and it's generally to improve your performance. But if we just want to target people who are visiting our Christmas pages on our website, then we'll turn it off and we'll click on next. So next, what you want to do is create your responsive display ads. Now, I just created a video where I went over responsive display ads, how to create them, best practices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually recommend that video to you. I put the link in the video description so that you can easily find it. But this is how you create a remarketing Google display ads campaign from start to finish. So coming back over here, how to set up remarketing. So one, you need a Google Ads account and a Google Analytics 4 account. Now, if you see GA4, that means Google Analytics 4. You need to enable Google Signals data collection in your Google Analytics 4 account, then link your two accounts, create your data segments in Google Ads or Google Analytics 4, and then you want to target your data segments with your Google display campaigns. Now, keep in mind, if you do turn display expansion on, then that means that it's going to expand beyond people in your remarketing audiences. But ultimately, what Google Ads is trying to tell you is we're going to try to reach people who we think will convert at the same rate as the people in those audiences. So you could turn off optimized targeting, especially if you have large audiences and you don't want to expand them anymore. Now, for me, with smaller audiences where it's at only about 2,000 people, then what you might want to do is expand it to make sure that you're actually spending and reaching people with people who are going to be more likely to convert on our website. So if you have any questions about how to set up remarketing, how to set up your data segments, how to set up campaigns in Google Ads, how to get it set up in Google Analytics 4, you can leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.